It's 2024, and if you run a coaching business stuck at 3 to 20K per month, I strongly believe there's a good chance that in 6 months, your business will die if you're still sending outreach as a business owner. Now, I'm not just saying this just to kind of like scare you and all that stuff, but I really just want to back it up with facts, right? There's an article that's online. You can search it up. I'm going to link it down below as well. The amount of active coaches in the online space has doubled from 2019 to 2024. Okay, so the competition in the online coaching space is constantly increasing. And if you're still relying on outdated strategies like outreach and organic strategies, then you're in trouble. Okay, because appointment setting, sending outreach, boosting your posts, it's such low-level tasks, and it can be so easily outsourced by VAs, by appointment setters, by growth specialists, and everything. You should be focusing on things that only you can do and you can perform. All right, so in this video, we're going to be going over a ton of that. So again, if you're a coach or agency owner and you're tired of dealing with broke clients and spending all day in the DMs, then in this video, you'll actually discover how you can consistently get 10 to 20 new high ticket clients, book warm calls that are ready to buy from you. And this will ultimately allow you to work less while making more because you implement systems and hire talent to do the heavy lifting for you. Okay, that is key. You're still going to be doing outreach, but it's not you doing it. It's you outsourcing it and hiring the right people to do it for you. Okay. So by watching this video, I want you to learn how we transformed over 80 different businesses and how we've been able to consistently do it for our own as well and generate some insane results. I think in the past like 5-6 days, we made over 22K cash and 30K rev. Like we really do this, right? And I'm not spending a ton of time in the DMs. I am in the DMs every once in a while, but at the same time, a lot of the heavy lifting is done by a setter, right? So what we're going to go through in this video is basically this 4-step process. Okay, this 4-step process, what it's going to include is learning how to increase lead flow by running paid ads. And then after we increase lead flow, we're going to find a setter and what to look for, building SOPs in the onboarding process for that setter, and then managing and maintaining a setter to book 3 to 5 qualified calls per day for your coaching business. Now, it all kind of just works together. It's like a system, right? If you miss one aspect of this process, then the whole system just kind of falls apart. So I want you to actually just fully understand it step by step. So if you just watched half of it, it just wouldn't make sense. I need you to watch the full thing. And again, one thing I want you to understand, it's not a quick fix. I'm not going to sell you this idea that, hey, all you need to do is just these 2 things so that I can get more views or so that I can get more sales. It's a big part of your business, right? Appointment setting is a big part of your business, and we need to make sure that the appointment setter that we hire and onboard is properly trained up and in a position where he can actually thrive, which is why the first thing we're going to do is increase lead flow by running paid ads. And I'll show you that in a bit. But before we actually go through that, let's talk about why you should actually listen to me, okay? Chris is the best representation of this. He was actually a coach stuck at 3K per month, and he was just doing everything, doing all the appointment setting, the closing, the prospecting, like literally everything you could think of, all right? And he was spending 3 hours a day by doing outreach and just barely scraping by. And what we did was we implemented the system we're about to show you, and his setter booked 12 calls in a single day, and we were able to scale up to 50K rev and 28K cash collected. And the rest is history. I actually filmed the interview with Chris. You can check this out. These are a few book calls. We book 4 to 6 on average. AK closed 3.3 in one day. And these are the actual book calls you can see. Like, pay attention to the dates over here as well. These are the book calls we got for Chris, you know. So I wanted to actually provide proof because I know a lot of guys just in the space, they just come up with shit out of their ass. And yeah, I'm not one of those guys. So I'm backing it up. All that stuff, and again, 14K cash and 20K rev with outbound alone in 10 days for our new client. And then, as you can see here, 12 book calls, and he did 24 in 2 days actually. So he's been doing it 12 calls consistently, and I'll be showing you how to do it. Okay. Same with that, we scaled him up to 54K in his first month. We booked him 13 highly qualified calls, all had a budget of 1 to 5K in the first day for launch. Everything was just dialed in. He didn't send a single DM. Same for Victor. He scaled from 5 to 10K to 24K in 60 days. We booked 25 calls, I think on the 2nd or 3rd week by the time we were working together and all that stuff. Julian was booking 18 calls in a week. This is what we do. And these are the results that Victor was able to get in just a week. 22K rev, 8K cash, record week. This is what we do. Okay. So like I said, I've scaled it for over 80 coaches. I've tested tons of different appointment setting strategies. I've hired over 50 appointment setters at this point, and this is what works best. This is the strategy and the SOP that I follow every single time. And I've been able to help generate over $1 million in client revenue and get results like this. Okay. I think 14K for Sky in a matter of 4 or 5 days, 8.5K for me. Rahul hit 28K, Skynet did 21, and Victor did 5. Some insane numbers. So let's get into it. What are the steps you need to take, and how do we actually go about implementing a setter so that you can get out the DMs and work on high quality stuff? The first thing we need to do before we even hire a setter is make sure that the setter has enough leads to work with and can actually set more calls. So you probably don't have enough lead flow. And so the first thing we need to do is we need to increase the lead flow. And we need a minimum of 100 new eyeballs of your exact client avatar going down your funnel every single day. So there's two ways we can go about it. I think 90% of you are actually going the first way, which is organic content. And I just think that's stupid, because if your funnel actually works and you've proven to actually make sales and you're charging anywhere from 3 to 10K, why don't you spend an extra $100 to make it 10 times easier for you to acquire new customers, right? It's so much easier to pay for new customers. And I'm just going to break down a lot about paid ads and understand why you should actually run it in a bit. But the point is, the easiest way to actually generate 100 new eyeballs on your page and going down your exact funnel is by running paid ads. It is the best top of funnel way to increase lead flow fast, instead of relying on the slow grind of organic content and organic reels and YouTube videos and all that stuff. That's great, but you combine that with paid ads and it's an absolute machine. So what are paid ads? Honestly, it's just a simple ad creative that is shown to your target audience that encourages them to follow you or DM you. I recommend follow because it's just cheaper, honestly, and if you have a strong middle funnel, it just converts better because you're asking for less. You're not asking for a DM, you're asking for a follow, which is very, very easy to get. So paid ads basically brings people of your exact client avatar down your page and down your funnel, which is extremely important. It does it instantly. You don't have to wait for your reel to pop off. You don't have to go viral. You don't have to do this. No, just run paid ads, okay? Now, isn't this super expensive? You'll know if an ad will be profitable within the first week, so you don't really have to spend a lot of money. You can spend anywhere from 30 to 50 bucks for a week, see if it's profitable, and if it's not, then you shut it down and you lose maybe 150, right? 99% of the time that won't even happen. If you're scared of losing 100 to 200 bucks, I don't know what kind of business owner you are. I just need you to grow a pair of balls, honestly. You need to be able to spend money to make more money. And so I personally spend anywhere from 1 to 3K per month. That's what I encourage my clients to spend as well, especially after we see that we've made a sale with the ad. And again, we don't double down on ads. We don't spend 1 to 3K if we don't know for sure that the ad is going to be profitable. That's the key. Okay, we know it's profitable and then we spend 1 to 3K. You should be spending money on ads when you know it's profitable, guaranteed, and just double down on the winning ad. You may be thinking, what if you lose money? How much do I have to spend in order to make it work? To be honest, you have to lose money at the start. That's just how it works. Like, you literally have to spend money, wait a few days, and then if leads come in, then you convert them and close them. By the time you do all the entire process, it's gonna be like 3 to 5 days, right? That's what scares 99% of the population away, because everyone's scared of running paid ads and everyone's scared of, spending money on their business when they spend tons of money on jewelry and their phones and all that stuff, and they won't spend money to get more leads to make more money with their high ticket offer. Doesn't make sense. But because that scares 99% of the population away, that's exactly why you need to run paid ads as soon as possible. Nobody is leveraging it, but I promise you that literally all the industry leaders are doing it. They just aren't telling you. And so this is a secret that they're keeping from you, and I'm going to expose them in this next slide. So nobody's willing to invest in the right systems. Nobody. Okay, I personally spent $500 and made $8,500 back the first few days of starting paid ads because I knew exactly what I was doing. I'm going to pop up the screenshot right here. I forgot to put it. So one thing I need you to note, if you're not getting any sales, it's not going to help you out. You're just going to waste money, right? But if you're getting sales and you're constantly making anywhere from like 3 to 10K, then running paid ads is actually going to put fuel on the fire. So I want to warn you, I'm not going to position this as like the one solution to fix everything. It's not going to be the one solution to all your problems, but it will amplify what is already working. So if you're getting a decent amount of leads coming into your pipeline and you're converting a percentage of them, it's going to help you convert more, right? Because there's more lead flow and there's more people that go down your funnel. It's as simple as that. And Alex Hormozi, Iman Ghazi, every single one of them run paid ads. Just so you know, I actually filmed a Loom video to show you how many damn paid ads this guy Hormozi runs. Let's take a look at this. If you think paid ads affect organic, this is a huge myth that's also created by organic coaches. And after I show you all of these ads that he's running, we're going to look at Hormozi's engagement and we're going to notice how much better it is because it's at an all-time high after he ran paid ads. Just think about it. You get more people that like your content that are in your exact client avatar looking at your content, so they'll resonate more, they'll like that post more, they'll bookmark it, they'll save it, they'll share it, and it's just more traffic. And this entire idea of paid ads making your organic lose reach and not being able to go viral organically is so stupid. It's so stupid because it logically doesn't make sense. It literally doesn't make sense because if your content is good, regardless of how much you spend on paid ads, IG and YouTube will still push your content out to your ideal clients and your customers because that actually keeps them on the platform. That is the key, right? So please do not fall in the trap of believing that myth because it was created by organic coaches as a marketing scheme. Do not fall for it. And I'm actually going to debunk this entire myth with this one single 40-second Loom video. So easy, all right? So you see all these ads. He's running over 50 to 100 ads every single month. This is all just in June or July, sorry. Bro, look at his... Look at the engagement, 1.7, 3.5. Do you think he's boosting this? Hell no, he's not boosting this. This is organic reach because guess what? He gets more of his ideal clients looking at his profile. It's logic, right? It's common sense. it will not affect your organic content, it will not affect your engagement, and Hormozi is a perfect example. All right, so please don't fall for it. Honestly, look at his YouTube as well. I'm literally not lying about this. It is an entire myth. And props to the organic coaches that are, bashing paid ads and came up with this myth, because a lot of people actually believe this, but it's the dumbest myth I've ever heard. I just debunked the entire myth with a 40-second clip. All right. So once we have enough lead flow and once we're running paid ads, we're going to find a setter. So what I want you to do is I want you to look in your network and post a story saying that you're looking for a setter. Okay. So state your mission, vision, and purpose in a video, then hire a setter that already follows you. This is the ideal scenario. Okay, because when a setter already knows you and they follow you, they're probably fans of what you do, and it's better to work with someone that looks up to you than to work with someone that doesn't know you. That is the key, right? It's just easier because they listen to you, they don't doubt you, they look at you as someone that they look up to, and it's like they truly just want the best for you. Okay, they're not someone that just wants the best for them. They don't look at you as a equal, and it's like it's kind of a weird one, but at the same time, if you have someone that looks up to you and someone that just really is a fan of your stuff, it's much easier to train them up because they listen better. They're more compliant. They're more willing to work hard for you and your mission, right? And also that goes back to the first point, which is stating your mission, vision, and purpose. What I want you to do is I want you to create a document that goes through these 3 specific things, and I'll show you right now, actually. So this is what my mission, values, and vision kind of doc looks like, and I put it on an actual website so people actually watch it before they apply. That's the key. You need to get them to watch it, because if they don't align with your mission, values, and vision, they're going to leave after 3 months. That's why your churn rate for your setters are so high, is because they just leave after a few weeks and a few months because they don't understand your mission, vision, and values. If they don't understand it, how can you expect them to stay? So film it, I think this is 15-minute long video, just me yapping about my mission, vision, and values, and talking about what I look for when I hire people in my program. And then after they watch this, and I actually see if they watch it or not, then they get to choose which role that they want. So obviously we have the setter one. We're going to go here, and basically that's going to be another specific video on what I look for in a setter and in an application form and everything like that. So again, this is extremely important. It's extremely important because you need to look for people that align with your vision. That's how you get someone to stay for a year or maybe a few months, and that's how you get someone to stay long term. That's how you build a real team. Okay, so after they watch that, they watch this one where I go specifically into what I look for when I hire appointment setters. I go through the requirements, and then they fill out this application. And then I hop on an interview with them, and then we take it from there. All right, so that is essentially what I need you to do. I need you to actually spend time to create this, because that's going to allow you to hire team members that stick with you for months and years, not weeks. Okay, and once you do this, then you can actually ask sales reps or coaches that know people in the sales space. Like typically, I just trust people's word of mouth more than I do if they were just talking about themselves. And so if a coach knows that, hey, this appointment setter is really good, I'd hop on a call with them, and obviously I want to take their word for it, but that person to me is much more likely to be a better setter than someone that I just met on a Facebook group or whatever, right? And yeah, this is just what I do, and you're going to know certain guys that are in sales. Just ask them, and usually they can refer you a person. And the thing is, you have to be specific what you look for. So actually film that requirement video, send it to your guy, and they'll understand what to look for so they don't give you a bunch of trash setters, right? Now, this is probably the hardest part of the process. And what I want you to realize is that you need to be careful, because it's better to wait for a great setter than take a risk on a mid setter. Because when you take a risk on a mid setter, you waste more time to actually train him, right? You waste more time to train him, you onboard him, you give him the SOPs, you give him everything, you try your best to make it work. Maybe it's been 2 weeks and you've been hopping on calls with him, and then you fire him, and then you have to hire again. So instead of just waiting for a setter, being patient, you wasted 2 weeks of your time trying to train up the setter that wouldn't have worked anyways, to fire him and then start from ground zero again. So it's better to just wait for a great setter than to take a risk, okay? So one thing I need you to look out for is that the work ethic is always more important than the skills, honestly. Because if they genuinely see your vision and they watch the video fully and they want to work with you, then guess what? You're going to be able to avoid churn and stick with a setter for years that you can constantly rely on and not, just worry about. Because the biggest worry is having a setter leave you after you train him up. Because you're probably thinking oh my goodness, I don't want to waste all that time. Don't waste all that time. So hire a setter when it's guaranteed to be a good one and they have an actual work ethic. That's the key. Having a work ethic is so important, and it's way more important than skill, because you can't teach work ethic, but you can teach skill. All right, so ideally your setter should have been in at least 2 roles and full-time, right? They work US hours, they prioritize learning over money, and they're working for a base pay. And now these are just some green flags, because if you hire a setter that hasn't been on a role, then you have the risk of just taking on someone that may potentially just not work out because they didn't know what to expect. But if they've already been on 2 full-time roles, they know that they have to be in the DMs all day. You don't have to work on their mental issues if they're, stuck in the DMs all day. You can just worry about the setting skills only, and just lead them. So these are a few important things, and that's something that you should always look out for. So once we get them through that, you need to have proper SOPs and onboarding. You need to create scripts and SOPs for every type of lead. And the way that you want to do this is you want to analyze every type of successful conversation. You need to analyze the data. So look at the successful conversations, compile them in a database, and then look for patterns. And so ask yourself, why did this message work? Why was this message left unseen? And you teach this to the setter, right? So you use the data and you craft a perfect script. Like honestly, I've created a database for my clients, and clients actually get this exact database and the exact scripts for their niche that have been proven and tested time and time again for over 2 years. I can kind of show you what this looks like if you were to build it for yourself. So as you can see, this is what we do. Like, let's say we onboard a Make Money Online coach. And so what you do is you go from here and you just copy and paste it into a link. And basically what comes up is a screen recording of the successful conversation. And when your setter is able to review 10, 20, even 100 conversations, they recognize patterns that work. They understand the overall structure that they should follow, and they don't make the regular mess ups that setters make. This is why we rely on data. So they get access to all this. We can analyze this together and tell them, hey, this is why we asked this is why we did that. This is why we sparked the conversation, all that stuff. This is the relatability, all that stuff, and everything, right? Blah, blah, blah. We go through it, and then they have a lot of conversations that they can review. And again, all of our setters that work with all of our different clients, they submit successful conversations that they've booked. And so we have niches on Make Money Online. We have niches on dating. We have niches on, fitness, losing weight, gaining weight, whatever it is. We have niches on them. This is specifically for Make Money Online. But like I said, you make it so hard for them to just fail by giving them so much data and so much to work with. That is the key to really building up a good setter. And that's how you create all the SOPs and all of the onboarding and all of the scripts and everything. So these are the SOPs you should actually build out for your setter. You should tell them how to communicate with you. You should tell them how to actually keep himself accountable, what to track and how to implement the spreadsheets, what to do on a daily basis, all of the DM scripts and structures. And when I say all, I mean all. So what to do when an inbound lead comes, what to do when an outbound lead comes, how to do post-booking, how do you build a report after you book in a call, how do you convert a freebie lead into a book call, how do you convert an inbound ad, how do you get someone to show up 90% of the time? How do you follow up with someone? How do you upsell someone? Every single script and every type of lead that the setter deals with, they'll know how because you gave them all the resources to do so, right? And this is based on just tons of data and tons of feedback and everything. And so we make it so hard for the setter to not succeed. We have outbound, we have inbound, we have everything, right? And obviously we tailor it according to each niche because we have data on each niche. And so when a fitness guy comes, I sit down with my setter and we literally write out the DM script and each and every single script for the fitness one. And there's no reason why you can succeed. This is the generic one for just regular offers. And then we obviously tweak it according to what niche. But the point is you need to give them so much support that it's stupid for them to not succeed. You teach them how to disqualify leads. You teach them what to do with the entire setup process. You give them resources. So I literally filmed a 21 video module course and showing the entire appointment setting process from the inbound, outbound, everything. That's what it takes to actually train up a good setter. And leading into this data has allowed us to generate more than $1 million in client revenue because we don't leave it up to luck. We just base it off of data and stats that have worked in the past. You need to let the setter know what to do in the beginning of day, what to do in the end of day, how to track metrics, spreadsheets, graphs, and everything, right? And when you have all of this, then it's almost impossible for a setter to not fail because a lack of data and systems will always lead to failure. That's the truth. It'll always lead to failure, okay? Honestly, in our program, we actually train and manage your setter for you. We give them one-on-one calls. We give them weekly calls. We give them convo reviews. We make it impossible for them to not succeed. And so if you actually want help with hiring and managing your setter, scroll down below and book a call with us because we do this and I'll kind of show you kind of what we do. So this is an example from one of my guys, Rahul. This is a setter and Rahul is not involved in the training of a setter at all, right? Alex is just there, training her up, giving her so much feedback on how to actually just run up the off, like just learn everything, right? 236, 304, the reply times are there. Like this is what it takes to be good at setting, and usually business owners don't have the time to do all this. And so that's why we actually come in and we just take over. Again, she knows how to do BOD. She knows how to do EOD. We track everything. And that's what it takes to actually train up a good setter. So again, if you want any help with this entire process, feel free to reach out to me. We'll get in touch. We'll book in a call down below and then we'll just chat it up and see if it's a good fit. So after you build out the SOPs and you actually onboard the setter, then you have to actually manage and maintain. Okay. So what I recommend is you do group calls 3 times a week to make sure he's all good. And 3 times a week is like the bare minimum. And so in these calls, you want to constantly review the conversations, tell them what they're doing wrong, what they're doing right, and how can they improve. So what that looks like is just mock calls, you acting as the lead and then them acting as a setter on your account, and then just going through it like that. Okay. And another thing that I highly recommend is genuinely caring about his goals and where he wants to go. Look, if you actually care about your setters and you prioritize his goals over yours, your goals will be met no matter what. And you want to position as like, look, I'm here for you. I'm here to help you achieve your goals, and I'm going to do everything in my power to help you achieve your goals. And you have to actually genuinely care about your clients or your setters, because when you genuinely care about them, they're going to genuinely care about your business. They're going to want to succeed for you. That's the key. And then you also want to check BOD and EOD every single day. This is where you kind of enter full manager mode, where you're not actually just in a DM setting all day, but you're spending 3 times a week, hopping on group calls, you're looking at his BOD, EOD, kind of managing him, making sure that he's doing the right things. This is what your time should look like. You should only spend time posting content, doing client fulfillment, and managing your sales team. Okay, so you basically freed up a ton of your time. And now you have 12 hours a day to work on the business and move the needle by focusing on these 3 things, which is the main pillars of what it takes to actually scale your business. And I would count paid ads as part of posting content, which is why I didn't have paid ads as a specific thing. It's kind of content to me. So paid ads with content, client fulfillment, managing your sales team, these are 3 things you should only be focusing on. And there's no chance that you can't succeed with this business if you're working only on high leverage tasks. The reason why you're stuck where you are is because you're doing things like appointment setting that gives you 1 output for every 1 input you put in. So that means you'll never be able to scale because you're just literally a glorified employee. Okay? So working on these things will allow you to get more output for what you put in, which will ultimately lead you to scale up. And that is why hiring a good setter is so important. Again, if you want our help to actually train and manage a setter so you can build a high leverage business that gets you 10 to 20 new clients per month without you having to send hundreds of outbounds every single day, without being burned out because you're doing everything yourself, and without posting every day, boosting reels, and doing all of these strategies that just don't work, and you just want us to come in and implement all our systems plus train up your setter, then what I want you to do is I want you to book in a free strategy call with me and my team. And the thing is, this call is not with a closer. This call is still with me. We're still relatively early in launching our program, and that's why I still want to take on these closing calls, but I won't be doing it for long. And I'll just be going over the roadmap that you need to actually take to scale. So worst case scenario, you just get a bunch of clarity on what you need to do in order to scale your business up. And my guarantee for the program is if you don't add an extra 10K to your business revenue in 4 months of working together, then you actually don't pay. I'll refund you the entire cost that you paid for the program, and I'll send you $1,000 for wasting your time. So you basically make $1,000 if this entire thing doesn't work out, which will never happen if you do what we say and everything. Okay. So hopefully you guys got tons of value and everything on this entire program. And I gave you guys an insights on how to actually manage, train, and prepare your setter for success. Okay. Because it's honestly a hard thing to do. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And if you're serious about getting help from us, scroll down below, book in the call, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.